Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to interrupt your programming here for a few minutes for a special news report as we've learned that the jury in Hamilton County out in Webster City has now reached a verdict in the murder trial of Michael Lang, the Grundy Center man, charged with first-degree murder in the death last April of Iowa State Patrol Sergeant Jim Smith of Independence. Now, Lang also facing numerous charges.
Now, if you're visualizing a verdict that you would consider positive or a verdict that you would consider negative, and in any way, shape, or form that's going to cause you to react in any way audibly in the presence of this jury, leave now. I don't mean this as a threat, but if I have any kind of emotional or audible response from the jury in the presence of the jury to their verdict, regardless of the nature of that outburst, I'm going to have a deputy remove you, and we're going to have a talk privately after the fact. So step out now, and you'll find out in a matter of a minute after the verdict's rendered by somebody else. With that, counsel, are we ready to have the jury brought in?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's bring them in.
All rise for the jury.
Okay, be seated. Okay, sir, ordinarily the person that comes in with the paperwork historically has always been our foreperson. Is that correct today?
Yes, it is.
All right, has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes, we have.
All right, if you could hand the instructions and the verdict forms. Thank you. All right, will the defendant please rise? In the district court for Grundy County concerning count 1, the verdict form reads, "We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree." Concerning count 2, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of attempt to commit murder. Concerning count 3, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of assault on a peace officer with intent to inflict serious injury. You may be seated. And Mr. Foreperson, is this in fact the jury's verdict?
Yes, it is.
Does the state wish to have the jury polled?
No, Your Honor.
Does the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, then that does excuse you from your service as a jury. We're going to send you back to your jury room one last time. In a moment, I'll be back there to talk with you. On behalf of everybody involved, we want to thank you for your service. All rise for the jury.
There it is. Guilty on all counts. Michael Lang charged with first-degree murder. He has now been convicted. You're hearing the background. That's.
I'll enter an order today then reflecting the jury's verdict. Given the verdict, bond will now be amended to reflect a no bond hold pending sentencing. Mr. Lang, you can talk to your attorney about these matters, but ultimately you do have a right to file a motion for new trial or motion and arrest of judgment. Those need to be placed on file no later than 45 days from today's date,
if you want me to
but no less
down
than
as long as
5 days before sentencing or the pronouncing of judgment. You can talk to your attorney if you have any questions about that. Is there anything else, counsel, that we need to take up at this time?
Your Honor, the sentencing date itself, will that court determine a date, or will they check with the parties?
If you would prefer, I will look at my calendar and then consult with you, if that's what you're requesting.
I am, Your Honor.
All right, any problem with that?
None, Your Honor.
All right, then I will more than likely get a hold of you folks, probably via email, just to give you an idea that this is the date I'm looking at. If that doesn't work, then we can kind of go from there.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thanks, counsel.
Well, there's Michael Lang leaving the courtroom. He has now been convicted on all 3 accounts in the death, of course, first-degree murder and the death of Iowa State Patrol Sergeant Jim Smith in Grundy Center a year ago, a little more than a year ago. You see him standing there talking with his attorney, Aaron Habecker, and you heard in the background Judge Joel Dalrymple reading the verdict, which has been unanimous by this jury in Hamilton County. It was moved there on a change of venue out of Grundy County where the crime occurred. So he has been convicted. KWWO reporter Daniel Perot has been covering this trial. He'll be again tonight in Hamilton County outside the courthouse in Webster City. We'll have the very latest from him and a live report tonight on the KWWO News at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Guilty on all 3 charges, and of course the big one, first-degree murder. In Iowa, there is no parole. It's a life prison term. More on that coming up tonight on your news right here at 5 o'clock.